Have you been to Prince Edward County? If so, you've probably heard about Picton. So today we're going to learn about why this town has been growing, and we're just going to dive that little bit deeper. Hi, my name is Jeremy Tremblay. I'm a local realtor that works in the Belleville, Trenton, Prince Edward County area. If you have any further questions after watching this video, because you're thinking about moving to the area, please reach out. My information is down below. I also make other videos to kind of give you a better knowledge of the area. So definitely go check out my channel, hit the subscribe button, and I'd really appreciate it if you get any value out of this video, if you could help me out by hitting that little like button. Let's get to it. So the first thing we're going to touch on is, where is Picton? You've probably heard of Prince Edward County. We've referenced that. If you've driven along Highway 401 and you've hit the Belleville, Trenton areas, well, you go south, you hit Prince Edward County. Continue going south into the county and you hit Picton. As a frame of reference, if you're driving from Picton to get into Belleville, it'll take you roughly 25 minutes. Whereas if you want to go a little bit more towards Highway 401, it's going to be about 35 minutes. And if you're driving from Picton and wanting to get to the GTA, so say to Oshawa, it's going to take you roughly an hour and 45 minutes to get there. Now, the next thing to know about Picton is its population. It averages around that 5,000 people, but that does fluctuate. We will touch on this later in the video. At certain times of the year, that population can really go up and down. If you've ever visited the Prince Edward County area, whether it be to come to the sandbanks or whether to go to the wineries, you'll often notice that a lot of the activity comes out of the Picton area. That's where they've got a lot of the different shops and downtown, and a lot of the growth is happening with respect to the actual building. So speaking of new development and construction, there is quite a bit happening within the Picton area. The average housing prices down within the county compared to, say, upwards in Belleville are quite different. So if you look in Hastings County, which includes Belleville and Trenton area, the average price in the month of May was $572,000. And that was for your average home. That includes everything that was sold within the month. Whereas you look in Prince Edward County and the average sale price for the month of May was $802,000. That's quite a bit higher. And many will ask why that is. There are a lot of options within the county and specifically within Picton. You've got single family new build homes that are on the water, single family detached throughout the town, and then you've got townhomes, and there are condos that are being built there. It covers the full range in terms of the construction offerings there. And one thing you'll notice about Picton specifically is that it wasn't always the way it is now. If you look, you will see a lot of homes that are quite economical, I'll say, in the way that they were built. They're smaller. It was not a place with a lot of wealth. And so you had a lot of smaller homes that were built within the area. And what we're seeing now is oftentimes homes that are being purchased, being torn down, and they're building new homes. And that average price that I mentioned there of over $800,000, that takes into account the fact that there are a lot of really high dollar listings down within Prince Edward County, and specifically even within Picton. And so when you have a lot of those waterfront properties and such, they really raise the overall average of a home and what's offered in that area. So when looking at the building, which a lot of it is happening, as I mentioned, a lot of developments are going on. There are a lot of developments planned because the expansion and the amount of people that are moving to this area. People often ask me as well about what other services are in the area, specifically if there is a hospital. Picton does have a hospital. It is the Prince Edward County Memorial Hospital. It's been servicing the area for quite some time, but they have recognized that it is an aging facility and the population growth mixed together, we're going to need a new facility. And so there has been a big fundraiser called Back to Build that they've been working on, and it is very close to reaching its goal. I think they're at 20 million last I checked, and they have to reach 27 million, which is the portion that has to be raised in order to cover their part. And the shovels are supposed to be in the ground in 2024, and they're aiming to have it built by 2027. So that will be a brand new hospital facility to service this area specifically, which will help support that growth. And then other people ask me, well, if they're moving there with their families, are there schools? Is this a small enough area or a large enough area that it has schools? And the answer is yes. They definitely have both the elementary and secondary schools within Picton directly. Depending on the programs, you're going to have to check into it. If you're looking to get your kids involved in the Catholic system or French system, you may have to bus up towards Belleville, but that is a service that's offered as well. So the next thing that you're going to want to be aware of if you're thinking about relocating to Picton directly is that it definitely has that small town feel. It's got that charm of the small town within Prince Edward County, and that really is the draw on why people are moving to the area. It's really close proximity to the Sandbanks Provincial Park, which is quite busy. And I mentioned earlier in the video about the population being around 5,000, but it fluctuates. Well, during the winter, Prince Edward County as a whole is quite quiet. And the town of Picton is fairly quiet. Whereas once you get into the summer months, the peak summer months, when that Sandbanks Provincial Park and North Beach and such are at their highest capacity, there is a lot of tourist activity. If you talk to any local that has been living within Picton or the county for any amount of time, they will be able to talk to you about the changes they've seen over the last number of years. Usually it's a little bit of an annoyance when you have so much vehicle traffic that's going through that small town, because it's, if you ever visit, it's one street that goes down, then you can go down to the water, and then just a lot of little neighborhoods off to the side. So it can get fairly congested. But that same thing, that's the reason why people are wanting to come to the area. They're wanting to be part of that small town feel. So with that busyness, there's a lot of plus and minus. Of course, if you speak to a lot of the locals that have been here for the last 10 years plus, they'll definitely note the increase in traffic during those summer months. And the town of Picton has really picked up during the summer specifically. It does get quieter during the winter, but with the population rising steadily, it maintains a steadiness during that winter months. Now, when I say busy, though, it is relative. When I have people coming from Toronto area and such, and I say busy, they kind of laugh a little bit. It isn't that busy. But you have to picture Picton has one street going through town, one main street, and it's not necessarily built for that much traffic, so it can get a little bit overwhelming during the summers. But the pluses of all this tourism that has come to the area is all the available shops and restaurants. As you go downtown, there are some fantastic restaurants and shops available, very highly rated restaurants, because many chefs have decided to relocate to this area. And then you've got a lot of the newer stores that have come. You can go down, you can go to Starbucks and many of the other, fast food, if that's what you're looking for as well. It's all kind of available in a town that never used to have that. So you are able to take advantage of that in the small town feel. And then when you're living within Picton, you still have access to everything the county offers. You can go on wine tours, you can go to the provincial parks and to the sand dunes. It really is a fantastic place, but recognize many people are starting to see this. They're starting to recognize that Picton is a place where they think they might want to retire. So that's Picton. So if you've come and you have visited Prince Edward County for whatever reason during one of these summers, and you have thought, hey, maybe that's a place where I want to relocate, and you have more questions after this, definitely reach out. If you're wondering more about the housing that I talked about or just the feel of the town, my information down below. Give me a call, send me an email, let's set up a call, and I can hopefully answer some more of those questions for you. I think Picton is a fantastic town, a fantastic option. Many people are discovering this town, so I think it's an area that will continue to grow over time. Once again, my name is Jeremy Tremblay, local realtor. I work in the Belleville, Trenton, and Prince Edward County area. Thanks for stopping by. Till next time.